I have to admit, it has been a bit of frustrating Saturday. I have tried to get live, tried to get support, tried to get some help, and we cannot get into our live YouTube video. So here we are recorded, and hey, we're going to do this show just like it's live. Maybe less interaction because we can't really interact if we're not live. But I can give you an update on what you've come to know and appreciate with the Sports Rush. And that is the fact that we will cover your Fort Wayne sports, the sports that really matter. We're not going to talk about Derek Carr, although Derek Carr retired from the NFL today. We're not going to talk about that. No, we're going to focus on what's important: the Pacers, the Colts, the Tin Caps, the Comets. We've got your local sports covered, and we update you almost as it happens, and perhaps maybe once a week with this actual live show that is not live today. Frustrating, but I'm glad you're with us. And everybody keeps asking me, what's happened to the show? Well, the show is not on the radio, and so this is the place for the show. For those of you that have appreciated what we provided the Fort Wayne community for 9.5 years, it's been a labor of love. It's involved a lot of really early mornings at 5 and 5:30 in the morning, making sure everything gets done before 7:15, and get the show prepared and outlined. And a lot of times late at night, writing myself notes of things that I want to include in the next day's show. It's kind of funny. It's almost laughable to think, because this shows that just some people don't understand how radio works or how I have worked. Very disconnected. But I have done the prep for this show for 9 years, doing it at night, late at night sometimes, or very early in the morning. And I know those of you that actually know me and care enough to ask about it, you're very aware of what I do with the show and how I prepare for it, and yet still go out and work a full-time job during the day. I've done it for 9 years. It's been part of my routine. Everybody wants to assume that it's costing me hours of my day job, which isn't true. I have to work 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. That means from 7 to 8 or 7 to 8:30, before clients are available, I have to figure out how to package all the stuff that we do as account executives, stuff like scheduling or writing commercials or sending emails. I do all of that very early in the morning before most of my coworkers ever get around to it, or probably ever even get out of bed. And so I've gotten accustomed to that. That's been my schedule. And so the job, being on the air never interfered with what I did during the day. But Jim Rome came along. They wanted an opportunity to go with Jim Rome. That's what happened. And I know just how frustrated Fort Wayne sports fans are, because you get it. You understood the importance of the show. It was the anchor show of the entire radio station because it was local, and sports is local. It's not a bunch of satellite shows that you can get on YouTube, or you can get on Twitter or X, whatever it is, or you can get on your satellite radio in your car. No, it's about the local teams that you care about and what's the latest developments with those teams. Well, having that off the radio dial, I felt like, you know what? It's time that I go ahead and get this channel going so that we can still bring you all those latest developments, because those are the sports that really matter to you anyway. And so we're going to talk about teams like the Colts, the Comets, the Pacers, the Tin Caps. We'll talk IU, we'll talk Purdue, Notre Dame, and we'll have special guests along the way. We'll also keep you up to date with what's happening with the Mastodons, with our high school sports. If all of those things matter, or you've got any of those teams that's your team, stick with us right here and make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share this channel. It would really help us out to get us off the ground. Doing this all by ourselves, we don't have some big PR firm behind us to promote us. It's grassroots. It is you letting other people know that the Sports Rush has not died. We are alive and we are doing well. And we appreciate those that are supporting us, whether it's through subscriptions, whether it's through views, whether it's through sharing, liking. I even enjoy the comments that I get, whether it's on the channel, on social media, direct message, I get them all. And I continue to get them. I get them from friends. I get them from administrators and people that I've worked with in the high school, college, and pro community. I get thanks and comments from coworkers who have appreciated what I have done for local high school or local sports in general. I get the thanks from sponsors who have been very loyal to me and have supported me because they understand the passion I have for this. And here I am now on my own doing this, and I could use your support. So click the subscribe, click a thumbs up, and if you can along the way, share it with some friends. Encourage them to check out the channel and to subscribe. That's how this goes on. All right, so we've got to talk about the Pacers and what happened last night as the Pacers fall flat and lose Game 3 in a rather convincing way to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I told you it was coming. All you have to do is follow this channel, and you knew this was what you were going to expect. This was so easy to predict. Pacers were going to come back home after 2 hard-fought road wins. They were going to feel really good about themselves. They were going to be too immature or not mature enough, either way, to be able to handle the success on the road. And they would not understand the type of fight that a team has, like Cleveland, when their backs are against the wall. And that the Pacers would be out-efforted. The Pacers would be counting on, as I told you, the fans in the stands to be making buckets, to be adding points. And even though Vegas has a formula that adds points for home court, those points are never scored by the people that bought tickets. You as a basketball team have to be that much better at home than you play on the road. It's like the Pacers just expected they came home and those points would just voila, show up on their side of the scoreboard. Didn't happen. And some of the things that actually were problems for the Pacers in Cleveland turned into massive issues at home. Offensive rebounding. Wow. The Pacers got out-rebounded 18-4 on the offensive glass. 18-4. That's a lot of possessions. That's a lot of extra opportunities to score. 18-4. That means in the series so far, 45-22, the Pacers have been out-rebounded on the offensive glass. Now, we know the Pacers aren't a great rebounding team. That's never been their thing. But you can't be bad. It's the playoffs. You can't be bad. You can't get beat at an element of the game like offensive rebounding. And the Pacers were just out-hustled. They didn't seem to have enough of the focus to be able to get a body on a body and fight for the rebounds. And as a result, the Pacers were smoked on the offensive rebounding. And Andrew Nembhard has to be able to guard Donovan Mitchell because apparently Rick Carlisle and the Pacers are going to stick with this no matter what happens. I mean, Mitchell has lit him up for 48 and 43 in the last 2 games. But by God, Nembhard's a hell of a defender. That's what they're going to preach. They're going to tell you what a great defender Nembhard is. Don't buy it. Don't get sucked into the PR machine. Nembhard does not defend. He's constantly out of position. He's constantly trailing the man he's guarding. I mean, if you can defend by grabbing a guy's waistband from behind, great, Nembhard's your guy. But he's basically playing piggyback 90% of the time. And he does it because he gives it up himself. They go to that high ball screen, and we're talking 38 to 40 feet from the basket. Nembhard will still follow Mitchell around the top of the screen. And then Mitchell takes off, turns the edge, heads down the middle of the lane. Nembhard's behind him the whole way. Really hard to defend a guy. Don't you remember the basic principle of defense you were taught as a kid? You got to be between your man and the basket. Between your man and the basket. It shouldn't be basket, your man, and then you coming up behind. And that's what Nembhard has done consistently with Mitchell, and Mitchell's made him pay. Mitchell isn't tearing up the Pacers from three. He's tearing up the Pacers by getting into the paint. This is the same exact thing that happened last year with Jalen Brunson. And Brunson lit up Nembhard to a point that they finally had to put Aaron Nesmith on Brunson. That was the only thing that slowed Brunson down. And right now, I'm wondering, where is that? Saw it a little bit. Did see it a couple of times last night. And I think we're going to see it more. We need to see it more because you can't keep letting Mitchell go for 40 plus and expect to win these games. They got away with one. They didn't get away with it the second time. But the Pacers didn't defend very well, didn't rebound very well. And then Tyrese Halliburton still continues to not shoot well at home. He is 5 for his last 28 from behind the arc at home. 5 for his last 28 translates to 18% three-point shooting. Got to be better than that, Tyrese. Got to be better. You're the star. You got to shoot like one. If you're going to take 28 shots over a 4-game stretch at home, you got to make more than 5. 10 or 11 would be kind of an average number. 5, not good enough. So the Pacers will play game 4, and this becomes really, you hate to use the word must win, becomes critical, very critical in this series. Because the Pacers lose, now they've got 2 out of 3 on the road in Cleveland with a tied series 2-2. And Cleveland will have all the momentum after coming into Indianapolis and stealing 2 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Pacers desperately need a bounce back. Colts opened minicamp. Rookie minicamp opened up for the Colts. These are for the rookies. Chance for the rookies to get caught up on a lot of the terminology and understanding of what's expected at the NFL, what's expected with the Indianapolis Colts, what will their schedule be, what will they need to do as far as game planning and understanding the playbook, and how are things going to change week to week, and when do they need to know what. All that stuff gets covered and reviewed during a rookie minicamp, plus you get a chance to get on the field, get a little work in. But the only rookie that I have any kind of confidence or optimism about is Tyler Warren. I know that guy's going to be good. That guy's going to be great. In fact, the Chicago Bears screwed it up by taking Colston Loveland, and thank you very much, Chicago Bears, because it allowed Tyler Warren to fall to the Colts. Tyler Warren is going to be an NFL superstar for a long time. You can put me on record. There's not a question. His athleticism, his strength, and what he's got up here. He just wants to be able to beat you. You know, that tight end mindset. He's got it. Whether it's calling on him for a block downfield, a block at the line of scrimmage, maybe going in the backfield and leading a running back through a hole. He's going to do it, and he's going to be good at it. I have no doubt. No question at all. 100% confidence in Tyler Warren. Do I have that confidence in any other of these rookies? Nah, I don't think they were great draft picks. I don't think Chris Ballard really scored well on any pick in the draft besides Tyler Warren. I mean, you could give him a meh, kind of a mid grade, give him a C on a few of them, D on a couple of others. Wasn't a great draft. No, the whole score was based on who he got as the top pick. And the guy that the Colts needed, the guy he wanted, fell into his lap because he sat there at 14 and waited. And the only team that took a tight end took a different tight end. That's how Chris Ballard lucked out on this draft. But rookie minicamp continues. Also, got to talk a little bit about the Comets and the opportunity that they let slip away at home. Hate the format. This is a ridiculous format to play 2-3-2 when the two cities are an hour and 45 minutes apart. I don't know what's going on at the Coliseum, if there was building availability issues. If there's building availability issues on a weekend in May, shame on the Coliseum. You have to be able to play a home game on a Friday night. There should have been a series where it was a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, not Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's lousy scheduling for a championship series or a postseason series. And so the Comets kind of really got screwed here. But the Comets had an opportunity to almost put this series away. And in hindsight, probably should have already won the series, 4-1. But they blew it. They blew it. There's no other way to look around it. They blew it. They gave Toledo full control of this series with 2 home games at the Huntington Center, if they need them, to win one. Comets outshoot them. But by God, that's a great stat if you want a moral victory. Moral victories don't get you to the next round. So the Comets end up down 3-2, heading to Toledo for Game 6. That game's tonight. I don't see the series lasting unless they get unbelievable play from Brochu again and give them a chance, which he did. But 35-12, they outshoot the opponent. 35-12, and they lose the game at home. There's no excuse. Comets just handed this series off. Blame everybody. Your goal scorers, if you're getting 35 shots, somebody's got to be putting the biscuit in the basket. They got to be putting the puck in the net. You got to do it. It's playoffs, baby. Small margin for error. When you get 35 shots and you hold your opponent to 12, you better darn well win the hockey game. Comets didn't. At home. Horrible. Horrible. Now they got to get it done on the road. I know a lot of Comet fans will be there at least on Saturday. Anyway, Tin Caps, how about the performance they got from Miguel Mendez? What a job he did in his Tin Caps debut. Now, Emmanuel Pinales has been the best Tin Caps pitcher, dominating the Midwest League, almost as we expected because he was good last year and then somehow ended up on this roster to start the season. That was a surprise to almost everyone, including Pinales. He had something to prove. He had a chip on his shoulder, pitched like it. He was unbeatable on Friday nights. And he was the opening day starter, pitched every successive Friday night. Well, he got promoted last week, so the Tin Caps had to find another Friday night starter, and they go to Lake Elsinore and they pull out Miguel Mendez. All he did last night in his first Tin Cap start was look like Emmanuel Pinales. Yeah, he ended up pitching 5 innings, 3 hits, did not walk a single batter, struck out 7. did not allow a run, 5 shutout innings, and the Tin Caps get a win against the South Bend Cubs. They've now won 3 of the first 4 in the series. They've won 9 of their last 11 overall, and they're back at it here. In fact, when this video is being posted, they're back on the field at South Bend. Also, we're going to be talking more as we progress on this little Saturday expedition. We're going to be talking more about the Mastodons. We're going to be talking more about high school sports. Hey, speaking of high school sports, how about that game today? We had a great one, high school baseball, and it's a new little adventure for us on Saturday mornings. We've never really done a high school baseball game of the week, thanks to PSM Baseball, Midwest Box Breaks, and Old Fort Baseball Company for their support in making it happen. We've had some games that were a little one-sided or weren't that close. Today, what drama? We had, first of all, a game that took an hour and a half to finish. In fact, I think it was an hour and 25 minutes. 2-1, Homestead wins. Pitchers duel between Mason Gutman and Noah Hess. Gutman and Hess, both a couple of lefties. They came into the game with a combined 1 earned run in about 40 innings of combined work. 1 earned run between the two of them. We knew it was probably set up to be a pitcher's duel, and it was. It did not disappoint. The game was scoreless until the 5th. Snyder got a run in the top of the 5th. Homestead answered with one of their own in the bottom of the 5th. And then in the bottom of the 6th, with 2 outs, nobody on, Homestead staged a rally when Luke Nysonger got hit by a pitch, ended up scoring 2 batters later, and that was the winning run. 2-1, Homestead takes game 1 of their doubleheader. I don't know what happened in game 2, but game 1 was a good one. And if you want to check it out, it's archived. Remember, we do have the podcast page for all of our high school broadcasts. You can listen to the games by going to Fort Wayne High School Sports, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. That was a good one today. But as we continue on this Saturday Sports Rush, we're going to continue to bring you the local sports. We'll focus on the teams that matter most. Fort Wayne FC, among those, they open their season tomorrow. They take on Sueno FC out of Bishop Darcy Stadium. And that game will be, that match will be 6 o'clock. Is it a game or a match? I know they play on the pitch, but I'm still trying to catch up on soccer. But Fort Wayne FC will be in action, opening up their season Sunday night, 6 o'clock. Be sure to get a ticket and check out Fort Wayne FC. But we're going to be covering those Fort Wayne teams. And this is the only place you're going to get it, like the coverage we provide. We're going to have guests on our Saturday show. Today, it's kind of an awkward day. A lot of people had things going on. We were trying to get this in and had a guest lined up, didn't show up. It happens. Had it scheduled to be live, couldn't go live. It's part of starting out, right? We're trying to learn to crawl before we walk. And we're crawling right now, but you can really help us out to get to that next step. What we need is for you to subscribe, like, watch the videos, share our channel, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If there's things we need to change, let us know what we need to change. Pretty informal here since we're doing it ourselves. You're kind of the program director now. And good for you. You get to kind of tell me what you think I should or shouldn't do. And by the way, my son, he's already been all over it. He's already given me a list, like 8 things long, of all the things that he wants to see with this show. So you might see changes because I may tell him, go ahead, do number 2, 4, and 6 for me. You know, he's the generation that can do all this stuff. I'm still kind of learning. But appreciate you tuning in today. But again, check out the channel. Watch some of the shorts. If you haven't hit the shorts tab, there's plenty of quick snippets that you can watch. All of it helps. in our growth and our sustainment. We want to be here for you. We want to be bringing you the latest in Fort Wayne sports. We're hitting a little bit of a downtime for sports, and so it's not going to be the easiest thing to do. But you can seriously help us out by subscribing, by liking with that thumbs up, and by sharing the channel. All right, that does it for today. Look for us again. Stick with the channel. Hit the little bell. That way when I do post new videos, because I don't have a set schedule. Sometimes I just get my mind on something and I have to jump in the studio and do this real quick. But hit that little bell so you know when Brett had something hit his brain and he had to talk about it. Huh? How about that? Appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the Sports Rush with Brett Rump.